Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make fresh homemade pesto. It seems so many of us are gardening right now, so I figured if you have access to some fresh basil, then you absolutely have to make this recipe. There is nothing like homemade. In fact, I remember the first time that I had homemade pesto, my friend Mary gave me a jar of it and it literally changed the way I cook. I'll have to tell you more about Mary in a little bit, but first let's go over what you're going to need. Besides the fresh basil, you'll need some lemon, Parmesan cheese, garlic, pine nuts, salt and pepper to taste, and then some olive oil. Now you're also going to need a food processor or a blender. This is what I have, and I'm just going to start putting in some of the ingredients. I'm putting the Parmesan, garlic clove, salt, pepper, and my pine nuts. And by the way, I'll put the exact measurements in the description below, but I'm just going to chop it up now. That looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to add my basil and olive oil. Now I'm going to try to use just the leaves, not so much of the stem. But I got to tell you, already it is smelling so good. I can smell the garlic and then just the freshness of the basil. It's really amazing how you can smell something or taste something and it just takes you back to certain things. You know, I was mentioning my friend Mary earlier, and I just got to tell you a little bit about her because she was so special to me. Mary, when I met her, she was about 75 years old, and I was in my early, maybe mid 30s. And I remember meeting her and thinking I was going to befriend her in case she needed someone to drive her to the doctor's office or she needed help in some sort of way. I was really going to help her. But really, she's the one who helped me way more than I ever imagined. I don't know what I was thinking. She was still driving. She was totally active. She was awesome. But anyway, I would go to her house and she would want to know what's going on in your life? How are you doing? And so I would sit and I would talk to her and she would say, hold on a second, wait a minute. And she would reach for a paper and pen. She actually always had a notepad on her kitchen table and she would write down the names or the dates or whatever. And she would say, because I want to make sure I remember exactly what I need to be praying about. She was a prayer warrior and she took it so seriously. I loved that about her. And she went to be with the Lord just a few years ago, and she was already in her late 80s. But man, if I don't miss her and don't think about her all the time. And sometimes when I'm cooking or I eat certain foods, she's just the first person that I think about. So anyway, just had to tell you a little bit about that. But I'll get back to what I'm doing. We're putting in our basil leaves. And then I'm just going to start to add the olive oil. I could actually use more basil, but I'm just going to go with this. Now just a little bit of lemon juice now. It acts as a preservative and also gives it just a little bit of flavor. And that should do it. Oh, it looks so good. Well, there you have it. It only makes a little, just a little jar here, but fortunately a little goes a long way in terms of flavor, and it looks amazing and smells even better. I can hardly wait to put it on my pasta or make a sandwich and spread it on the bread. It'll make it that much better. Anyway, I hope you like this recipe and that you go out and make it. I also hope that you go out and make a new friend, especially an older one, because they just have so much wisdom to offer. Thanks so much for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe, like, and click the notification bell.